Texas Democrats have their eye on the upcoming governor's race. Much is at stake. The last Democrat to hold office was Ann Richards back in the 1990s. The 2014 Texas Democratic Convention has wrapped up in Dallas. Here with an overview of what we can expect in the coming months from both Democrats and Republicans is Eyewitness News political consultant Dallas Jones. Dallas, thanks so much for having us here. You probably were just in your glory in Dallas.
Yeah,
you love conventions,
we
right?
We had a good time. Convention is always a good time. The weather was beautiful in Dallas, so it was a great weekend.
One of the things journalists always ask, is there any news coming out of the convention? Is there anything that happened in that convention, do you think, that will surprise Texas voters?
Well, the convention is a time where the party kind of goes through and establishes its platforms, the issues that its candidates will run on, who they officially accept the nomination and make it, you know,
formality
it's
going on.
It's a huge, big political pep rally.
Sure.
So what
Fire up the base. That kind of
absolutely. So what you saw coming out of Dallas this weekend was a very hard stance on women's issues. Democrats are really using that very heavily this year in the election, not only around issues like abortion and reproductive rights, but around issues like wage disparity and equal treatment in the workplace. You also saw a very hard stance come out and a win for the GLBT community against what was a very controversial reparative therapy clause in the Republican Party platform that came out of their convention. And so these were some things that it was the usual platform plus a little bit more, but the typical stuff, guns, abortion, immigration, which was also a big issue.
Let's talk top of the ticket. All right, so you've got Wendy Davis, Letitia Van de Putte running at the top of the ticket. Realistically, what are the odds that both of those women are going to represent the state of Texas in the governor's office and lieutenant governor's office, realistically?
Well, the reality of it is it's been 2 decades, as you mentioned, that a Democrat has held statewide office. And so it is an uphill battle to glory. Hispanic electorate is going to play a huge part in this. But the reality of it is it can be done. There are missteps that can happen. They're trailing in the polls currently. But the reality of it is any candidate in an open race like this can make a misstep or a game that can really plunge them forward.
In Dallas, there's probably a huge game changer, potential game changer, going on the border right now. I mean, I know it's a national issue, but it is a Texas issue, too.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of people streaming across the southern border. Is that something that, a mistake could be made by a candidate, or, points could be scored by a candidate and on something like that could influence an election statewide?
Absolutely. I think a realistic position towards immigration, one that can get the majority of Texans to support it, can help either candidate. Now, here's the caveat about that. You can't go too far to the left. You can't go too far to the right.
Because somebody's going to take the center.
Because somebody's got to take the center and have the right policy around this issue. But it's a huge issue. It's an issue that can help or hurt a number of candidates. I mean, either one of the candidates. But the Hispanic community can be key to that debate and to what that really means for both candidates.
All right, Dallas, thanks so much for coming. I really appreciate your insight. Thank you so much. All right, ABC's Breakout Show.